to some, angels to others.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Texas Chain Saw Massacre the game video. We have some interesting things to go over today. We are going to dig through the Reddit and look at a few of the developer responses to have a discussion about, as well as one of our own community members was able to go to a convention and meet KANE HODDER and ask him a few questions about the game. So we'll be getting into that as well. But before we do, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. 1, you're joining the greatest horror community on YouTube, and 2, you want to stay up to date. You don't want to miss out on more horror gaming updates and gameplays here on the channel. And for the people who are already subscribed, you know the drill. If you're a part of the psycho gaming community or slasher game, make sure to slash that like button. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on what we have to talk about today in the comments. So the first thing we want to start it off with, one of the members of the community reached out and just pretty much said, can we get any information? It's been a little bit since we got the reveal of the survivors. What do you have for us? And Matt Shacha, the community leader, replied with, what did you have in mind? I can say this, we at least have one little hidden riddle detail out in the wind that hasn't been noticed yet. Now this was 3 days ago, and it's got my brain racking on what it could be. Honestly, there's really only one thing that comes to mind, and it comes from the Maria Flores Instagram, where she mentioned she's being followed. I can't shake this feeling that this man I keep seeing has been following me. He's imposing, handsome even, but something about him feels off. Like I'll turn around and any moment he'll be there. Maybe it's because this town is so small and there's so few faces. I think it's time I got out of the sun. Now we know that the hitchhiker ends up with a few of her belongings, aka the camera and the satchel, which leads us to believe that he plays a big part in what happens to Maria Flores. However, I wouldn't typically describe the hitchhiker as handsome. So unless she's talking about Grandpa, I think this is our very first hint at one of the original family members that Gunn has created. I bring this up because I don't see a lot of people talking about this, and I think this is what Matt is hinting at, but I'm not sure. We need to figure out what it is though. So if you guys have any ideas on what this little hidden riddle detail that's out there, let's talk about it. Next, we have the community asking about the perk system. Is it going to be similar to Friday the 13th? How is that going to work? We know that the meta game in this game is going to be a huge deal and a really big part of it. Andy, the community representative, has this to say. We'll be rolling out the meta game details at a later date, but I can say it's far more extensive than Friday the 13th the game was, which I know will make a lot of people happy. Friday the 13th, the game's perk system was very baseline at best. And since we've been hearing so much about this meta game being such a big part of this, I'm happy to know that it's going to be very detailed. And next, the community asked about winning and escaping, saying this. What if there's no escaping? What if there's no surviving? Ever since the announcement of the game, we've never heard anything about escaping or surviving the game. Yes, how to stay hidden, but nothing about the end of the character gameplay. The characters in this game are called victims, not survivors or counselors, just victims. Also, since the game is tied to the actual chainsaw lore and plays before the first part, no one ever exposed the Slaughter family. I can see the end of the match always ending badly for the victims. Even if you win, no matter the objective you succeed in, at the end a cutscene plays with the killer's remaining victims, as it was a trap all along. What do you think? Or am I missing something? Andy Cleaves, the community representative, responds with this. To win a match, victims must escape the family to survive. But what will be left of them? The end game to TCM is something I have so many questions about. How exactly do we escape? What do we have to do? It seems like no matter what we do, it's going to be at a cost. Next, we have the community asking about teamwork. There is no I in team. How will lone survivors affect the game? We've heard that working as a team is very important to the matches. What if you get a player or two on either side that doesn't want to cooperate with the team and they just want to go off and do their own thing? Objectives be damned. Once again, the man Andy is back with another response. While teamwork is very beneficial for both victims and families, players who decide to go solo route will be able to have the success on their own if that fits their playstyle. Now, that does not say that teamwork isn't beneficial, but it's not completely dependable to succeed in the game. Game details that we're not ready to reveal just yet will shed more light on this topic and will plant a clearer picture for all of the community. This topic alone is something that gets brought up a lot in these kinds of games, so it's nice to hear that they have both play styles being worked on. Alrighty, let's talk about our community's own Jack meeting with KANE HODDER and asking him a few questions to the game. This is what he had to say. I got a chance in a lifetime to talk to KANE HODDER. The only thing I wanted to talk to him about was the game. When meeting him, I asked him about how the game was coming along, and it turns out the game is nowhere near close to being done. They are making the game slowly, but it's coming along very good right now. He even said that they are taking ideas from people still because some of the stuff is still in the planning phase. He is still working on kills, and he was talking about how they are 10 times more brutal and that the game devs might do something where people can pay money for a kill or pictures of themselves around the map. He did say the wait is going to be worth it, and that it's because the game is 100 times better, more graphics and gameplay wise. The only main part I really think people should know is that he talked about how the game was only about 40% done. Now, release windows, release dates, things like that, we always talk about over here on the channel. When could we realistically see the game? Hearing that the game is about 40% done is very interesting. Because there's that famous West quote where they say that you shouldn't announce a game that's 2 to 3 years from being released because it kills the hype. So I'm very interested to hear what you guys think about this. Obviously, there is a chance here that KANE isn't 100% looped in with everything going on in the game cycle. So obviously take that as you will, but it's a very interesting idea to hear that the game is about 40% in progress, and the idea of the community possibly being able to pay money to be in the game itself, whether it be kills or just photos. I personally think those kinds of things are awesome, but I love everything I'm hearing. Better graphics, better gameplay, and more gruesome kills. That's everything I wanted. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. Comment down below and let's have a discussion. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to slash that like button. If you like what I do here and you want to support, become a member of Slasher Gang for as low as $1 per month. But that's all I have for you. Till then, don't do drugs, don't have sex, and oh yeah, don't